Hello, 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 and welcome back, family, to Masquerade Monday. My name is Huddy, and tonight we're talking LA by Night. As always, this video is not scripted, and these opinions are all my own, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The epilogues have begun, kindred, and as Jason Carl says, the epilogues are short vignettes of the night that relate to the plot of the current season, but also foreshadow what is to come. It's meeting of the Baronesses this week, and there's no love lost between these ladies, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The episode begins in front of an upscale wine bar where Nellie arrives on the back of Nines Rodriguez's motorcycle. Honestly, I was surprised to see cuddly Uncle Nines in this epilogue, but hey, I ain't complaining. Nines asks Nellie if she's ready for this tete-a-tete with Fiona, and Nellie wavers a bit, finally saying yes after fidgeting with her hair and jewelry. Now, I hate to admit this out loud, because I adore Nellie, but she's not ready. My first inkling that Nellie was a bit out of her depth came in episode 7 and how she handled her meeting with the Camarilla, specifically with Vannevar. Nellie is a strong woman with a big heart, which we'll touch on again in a minute, but I don't know if political intrigue is necessarily her strong suit. Being kindred by itself is trial by fire, and being in a position like Baron is even harder. It's not just sink or swim, it's treading water, and not just for 10 minutes, more like 10 years. Any wavering, any signs of weakness, and you will go under. Nines insists on going in with Nellie, I assume out of a sign of solidarity, and although Nellie does try to dissuade him, albeit mildly, he claims that he just wants to make a show of himself and then leave. In my mind, this is a huge blow to Nellie's position. I don't believe Nines meant anything malicious by this, but Nellie is a baron in her own right, and rolling up on someone like Fiona in this way, well, it doesn't necessarily send the right message in my opinion. Nines is true to his word, however, and after being escorted to the members-only room where Fiona waits, he says hello and then departs. Now let's talk about Fiona for just a second. I have always been a fan of the character, and she is played brilliantly by Ash Minnick. She's cold, astute, almost Machiavellian, just a delightful representation of her clan Ventrue. For anyone who doesn't remember, Fiona is not loved by our Valley coterie for various reasons. Victor has particular beef with her because she was awarded part of his barony back in season 2. She was also responsible for ghouling Jasper's ex-girlfriend Chloe, aka Archangel, after he breached the Masquerade by reaching out to her. And Fiona was captured by the Inquisition and consequently escaped due to Greg being forced to give up a name of a blank body lest he blow his double agent cover. She's just a compelling character that I love to mistrust and to give the side eye. Fiona hands Nellie a wine list that is clearly not wine, but rather a numbered list of descriptory words like attorney, crier, barista, handsome, and their accompanying ages. Honestly, nothing shocking for a wine bar owned by a Ventrue. Nellie chooses a suave executive in his 30s named Marco and enjoys his particular libation. Fiona suggests that they get down to brass tacks and asks Nellie why she wanted to meet. Nellie, seemingly trying to be choosy with her words, tells Fiona that she is meeting with all the barons, trying to find out any arrangements they had with Abrams that can be negotiated or extended, or any other machinations that she can be of assistance with. And although Nellie tries to approach from the point of solidarity among baronesses, Fiona is not impressed by this, and I really can't blame her. Casting aside the fact that Nellie's ghoul got her captured by the SI, I don't think Fiona is the type of person who wants her position as a baron to be boiled down to some sort of sisterhood with her fellow female barons. She is a baron, as is Nellie, and that is the ground they should meet upon. Fiona tells her maitre d' to bring in the package, and the woman returns with a white box that Fiona slides over to Nellie. Opening it, it appears to be a jewelry box made of ivory, but on closer inspection, it is in fact a human skull carved into the shape of a jewelry box. Nellie doesn't seem overly shocked by this, and I have to commend her on that, and asks who the skull belonged to. Fiona says it was once a man named Stillwater, which we know from season 3 was the second Inquisition officer she dominated and escaped with. Unsurprisingly, Fiona learned quite a bit from Stillwater, and although she doesn't reveal much of what she knows, she does let Nellie know that she is aware that Greg is the one who gave her up. She then tells Nellie that the box is big enough to fit a heart, and lets Nellie draw her own conclusion. Fiona then remarks, "We all keep tabs on our little angels, don't we?" Let's keep that in mind for just a minute. Fiona asks if Nellie was involved in Greg's little scheme to get her taken by the Inquisition, and Nellie lies, saying that she ordered him to do so. Like I said, Nellie cares deeply for the people in her charge and is trying to shield Greg from Fiona. Honestly, it was a rock and a hard place question. I probably would have said the same thing. Fiona then brings up Chaz, saying that she thought that after Chaz died, Nellie would have shaken off the rest of her chains, but that she didn't. She kept climbing into that same limo at the direction of a different man. Fiona is referring to Victor and the limo that he took from Chaz after Chaz met the final death, much to Nellie's overt and obvious chagrin. Fiona then asks if she is just another weak woman, which Nellie firmly denies. Fiona doesn't mince words, and we know as the audience all the way back in season 1, before Victor was Baron of the Valley, the territory belonged to Abrams, who left it in Fiona's managerial hands, sans title. When it was given to Victor, Fiona was the one who had to hand it over officially. Now, I love me some Victor Temple, but that must have been both humiliating and insulting to Fiona at the same time, to hand the territory over to an inexperienced man just because another man said you had to. Once Fiona got her chunk of domain and her Baron title, she shook off those patriarchal chains and is trying to determine if Nellie has done the same. For the record, I don't know if Nellie has. Chaz is certainly gone, and although they may not be patriarchal in nature, Nellie is bound in some way, emotionally or otherwise, to the Seneschal Susanna Rochelle, and being a part of the Camarilla goes hand in hand with metaphorical chains. Fiona tells Nellie that she doesn't think she's weak, but fears that Nellie thinks she is weak, and that is more dangerous than the other way around. Fiona then says if she wants to make amends, if she wants to keep Fiona from being her enemy, she should fill the jewelry box with a heart of her choosing. Nellie doesn't say yes or no to this, and Fiona reminds her she is a patient woman. At this point, the maitre d' returns and says there's been an accident, that one of the guests has overindulged and that number 10 will need to be replaced. Fiona immediately asks which room it was, and the woman responds, the brown room. I was expecting a different reaction from Fiona, but she looked immediately, frustrated, concerned, and then quickly told the woman to source a new number 10, saying, give them whatever they need. This was to me the most interesting part of the epilogue. Killing a mortal in another kindred's establishment, especially a Venture's, well, that simply isn't done. So who is this mysterious patron who gets not only a pass, but the option to keep feeding on Fiona's stock? Well, I'm the world's worst speculator, but if I had to guess, I would say there's two possible options. Well, 2 plus an infinite amount of unknowable options, but you get what I mean. One is Therese. I certainly wouldn't want to deny her a snack, even if I was sheltering her, nor would I want to get on her bad side. Plus, if I was hiding from a Camarilla blood hunt, well, I wouldn't be where everybody knows your name, but I would certainly want them to think that. 2 is Chloe. This is much more of a stretch in my mind, and I doubt it, but Fiona seems to have genuine affection for Chloe, and since X has been away from wherever it is he and Chloe have been calling home, it's possible Fiona could have embraced her. Either way, it's clear based on the keeping tabs on our angels comment that she is still in contact with Chloe in some way and is possibly using her as an informant. As Nellie goes to leave, she gets a text from Brad, to which she responds with, ugh. I don't know when their relationship soured exactly, but okay. Also, did I ever mention my theory that I think Brad is the Inquisition mole? No? Okay, never mind. I got the feeling watching this that maybe Jason was trying to give Cynthia the idea that she could take Brad's heart for the box. Either way, I think Nellie will come up with something. That pig's heart thing worked out for Snow White, right? Or am I remembering that wrong? The epilogue ends with Nellie leaving Fiona's establishment and seeing Nines leaning against his motorcycle, waiting for her. Going my way, he asks, and the two of them race off into the Los Angeles night. If you haven't already, please go follow the World of Darkness Twitch channel and subscribe to them on YouTube. If you can, sub to their channel on Twitch and support their sponsors Backblaze and Level Up Dice. All links can be found in the description. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to me as well for new content every Masquerade Monday, and let me know your thoughts on Epilogue 3, In Praise of Ladies Dead, in the comments. Thank you so very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!